Hi, guys. Welcome to tonight's call with Dr. Ivy Pruss. I am so super excited to get this ball rolling. And what I need to do now is go ahead and hit that go live button. So we will be live on Facebook, hopefully in just a few seconds. Oop, Lee got kicked off the live. Welcome back. Okay, guys, waiting for the live to activate. Feel free to go ahead and put in the chat where you're dialing in from tonight and let us know what part of the country, what city, state, wherever you're from. Oh, wow, success. This worked. Great. Wonderful. We are now live on Facebook. Welcome to our call. We are the Moo Crew. We are going to go live tonight on the many benefits of Colostrum6. And we are a fast and fun growing team here at Anovite. And we just love spreading the great news about God's very first superfood that he formulated, which is colostrum. Tonight, we have a very special guest with us. She's a wealth of knowledge on this topic, among many other topics. And I'm going to introduce her here in a second. But first, I want to go over a quick disclaimer. Anything that you hear on this call tonight is not medical advice. Anything we talk about is not designed to diagnose, treat, prevent, cure any disease. We do not consult with the FDA, and we are independent reps of Anovite. So we're going to be giving away some free stuff tonight. I actually have 2 weeks supply of our heavy metal detox Limousin here for one lucky winner. And we also want you to write in the comments who invited you to this live. So whoever invited you to this call, please put in the comments on Facebook. We need you to comment on Facebook who invited you, and we will get you back in contact with that person, and they can ship you out a free $70 box of our top selling products. That's going to include our heavy metal detox, our Colostrum6 capsules, as well as our gut brain product, which is phenomenal. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you our guest so we can get this party going. Her name is Dr. Ivy Pruss. She is a double board certified naturopathic doctor. She's also a clinical herbalist, and she's a formulator. She makes all kinds of good stuff. She's been in the holistic field for over 20 years. She focuses on epigenetics and nutrigenomics. Her passion is educating and helping people achieve better health and a better quality of life. She's also a mom of 5. She left that off of here, but she's a super mom of 5 and a homeschool mom. So without further ado, Ivy, welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so we can get started.
Sounds good. I'm going to mute.
Can you still hear me, Landy? Yes? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started. It is my joy tonight to be with you guys, talking about one of the things that I love absolutely the most. This Colostrum6 has been an absolute game changer, not only in my practice for my patients, but also for my family specifically before I even introduced it into my practice. So, thank you for joining us tonight. I know that everyone's time is very valuable, so I'm going to try to pack in as much information in bite-sized pieces as I can within this 30 minutes. And so I'm just going to do a quick little bit of housekeeping here. Although I am a double board certified naturopathic doctor, I am not your doctor. You alone are responsible for your decisions you choose to make for your health. Make sure to clear those through the proper channels and whoever your healthcare provider is. If you would like a consult or to talk about any issues that you may have going on, you can email me at the link right here, hello@epigenetichealth.org. So what do I have in store for you guys tonight? It's basically an introduction to colostrum. Basically, I love to call these little things that I do like a 101. It gives you a great little background and it gives you a pretty good foundation so that we can move forward in further trainings. I'm going to touch just a little bit on animal husbandry, what it means for us, and why quality of the colostrum you're taking absolutely matters. Let me see if I can just change this here so that I can view. Okay, that's better. So setting the stage, what what exactly is colostrum? So in the most simple definition, colostrum is the first milk produced by a mammal for its very new offspring. So this liquid is completely different from traditional milk. It's in color, consistency, and composition. It has a much higher value because it has a much more important job to do. So the library that this cow has built in the years of her life, the relationship that she's had with her environment, the quality of her animal husbandry, basically that means her needs being met, not only nutritionally, but physically. Has she been out in the sunshine? Has she been happy? Has she lived a really, really good life and been cared for properly? All of that leading up to this birth of the baby is what is going to be passed on through her colostrum, which is the first milk. So for the colostrum, the mom is going to be passing on her passive immunity, which is directly going to address the calf's innate and adaptive immunity. And that I want you to log it away in your brain because that right there is a really big key component as to why colostrum is as valuable and effective as it is, because it targets our three immune variety of systems. We have passive, adaptive, and innate. So the calf's gut junctions only have within 24 hours to accept all of this information. Mom has one chance to transfer exactly what this calf is going to need for a very uh, effective and productive life. Like, is this, whether it's a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. It's going to be influenced on how effective it is at life, how hardy it is immune wise, and how strong it is. This calf has one window for this to work, and it's its only shot at survival. So, when calves don't get colostrum immediately right away, they really don't have any chances of survival whatsoever. If they do survive without getting the colostrum that they need, they lead a very sickly lives and don't really last very long. So the importance of survival for this calf, it's such a heavy load that colostrum is loaded with actually very large molecules that otherwise wouldn't pass directly into the bloodstream through the gut, which is why this window is so important. It's so important that generally farmers follow a 1, 2, 3 type of rule. Feed the calf the first milk within its first 2 hours of life and at least 3 liters of it. So what they're getting within those 3 liters in those first few hours of life are immunoglobulins, proteins, peptides, macro and micronutrients, and many more things designed to address and develop not only the gut function of this calf, but actually the neurological development and growth as well. We all know that you cannot have one without the other. If you don't have a healthy gut, then you don't have healthy brain function. So again, the passive, innate, and adaptive immunity is going to be addressed here. Now, what is the big deal, particularly about bovine colostrum? Well, if you equate it to blood typing, how we have different blood types for people, bovine colostrum is basically a universal donor of sorts, right? Any livestock can benefit from colostrum and us humans as well. So bovine colostrum is not species specific, so it benefits just about everyone. Okay. What does this mean for us? What it means is you're going to get basically both the bioactive compounds and the nutritional compounds as well. So the bioactive compounds are going to be things like lactoferrin, you're going to get cytokines, leukocytes, growth factors, immunoglobulins, and then your nutritional compounds are going to be rich in fat and proteins, essential amino acids. You're going to get a host of enzymes and inhibitors. Oligosaccharides, and so many more compounds. Now, all of these compounds together, they work on encouraging beneficial microbiome gut growth in our stomachs. Um, they line the gut with substances that bacteria need to stick to. For a long time, there seemed to be this kind of war on mucus, right? Everybody was trying to, get rid of the mucus, eradicate the mucus, but there are a lot of diseases attached to not having a mucus layer for this bacteria to actually latch onto and grow and thrive and help live in that environment. These compounds are also responsible for a healthy muscle, bone, tendon, and ligament development and growth and repair. So not only the growth of it, but you're taken care of on every aspect. So this colostrum has compounds that generally affect every single aspect, whether it's development, growth, and repair. Okay. It's rich in antimicrobial activity. It's so amazing for that. When we talk about cellular repair, healthy metabolic function, and fat utilization, it tightens those gut junctions that are damaged by tons of things in our life, things like antibiotics, pesticides, glyphosate, any kind of OTC, whether it's Motrin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, those things just basically really, really blast open your gut junctions and make it a very unfavorable environment for beneficial microbiota to be there and be happy. Um, Colostrum is also rich in glycans, vital important sugars, and one specifically that my colleague loves to talk about is sialic acid. This is important for proper intracellular communication. That means communication going on within the cell and within cells and other cells as well. So it assists with immune system modulation, and it's the front line in differentiating self and non-self. And if you recognize the word self and non-self, there are a lot of autoimmune issues that are tied to this, where the body no longer recognizes what is you and what is not you, and it actually turns on attacking tissue that's actually you. It's rich in glycoproteins, and this is important for the formation and maintenance and degeneration of myelin sheaths. If you're familiar with that word, myelin sheath, these are responsible for protecting nerve fibers in the central and peripheral nervous systems. Um, this is where things like Parkinson's come from, where those neurons are constantly firing and there's no myelin sheath between the nerves anymore. And so there's this uncontrollable jerking kind of behavior. That's a lack of myelin sheath protection there, where it's completely been eroded away. Colostrum has neuroprotective properties. I've seen this firsthand. I don't normally, well, I don't ever take newborns in my practice just for legality's sake. I'm not an official pediatrician. But a mom reached out to me several months ago, and she had her first baby born natural at a birthing center. Everything seemed to have gone well. The baby did really great for the first few hours, and then parents were pressured into giving the baby vitamin K. And it was that when they noticed after that that the baby's health started to decline and go down pretty fast. Well, the baby developed seizures almost within 48 hours of them being home. And my hunch was that we have 12 cranial nerves. If any of those cranial nerves needed support and repair through the stem cells that the baby gets through cord blood, if they couldn't get to the place where they needed to repair due to the vitamin K affecting the consistency and thickening up that newborn infant's blood, well, then any one of those 12 brain nerves did not get the repair that they needed, and now the baby had seizures. So I can't see the baby, but I can see the mom. I got the mom on colostrum right away. Baby's getting colostrum from the mother's breast milk, and baby also gets colostrum directly. And within just a few weeks, the mom noticed that when she was consistent with the colostrum, seizures disappeared. When she fell off of being consistent with the colostrum, seizures appeared again. And this baby was on seizure medication, and the seizures only went down to like about a few a week, but it didn't ever disappear. So I've seen firsthand neuroprotective properties of this colostrum, aside from other children that are also older but have had some injuries due to those things that they give us all when you're on the schedule. Colostrum has rich antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It's loaded with IGF growth factors that support liver regeneration. If you're familiar with what the liver does and how vital it is, you know that it's responsible for over 500 processes in the body. If you don't have a healthy liver, you're going to be taxed to the max, and you're not going to be functioning as well as you can. Human growth hormone, how many of you guys have heard of that? It's basically touted as the anti-aging hormone. As we get older, we produce a lot less of it. Well, colostrum supports it via IGF-1. And so the body is maintaining a very healthy environment to support the process and growth and repair of your DNA and RNA. Now, colostrum, it's really important that you guys understand colostrum is not some kind of immune booster, right? So there's a handful of products that you can use to boost your immune system. And everybody knows that with immune booster compounds, you cannot take them long term. You cannot be on them indefinitely. Colostrum is not an immune booster, okay? Through a very organized biochemical dance that it creates within the body. Colostrum modulates the immune system, and modulates basically means that it is there with instructions and information for all compounds in your immune system to function the right way. You don't ever have to worry about taking a break from colostrum. That's what I think one of the many things that makes it actually so amazing. So it's not an immune booster. It is absolutely critical information from that compound to your biochemistry, to your cells, to your DNA on how your body needs to function and how to do it the right way. In case you're not aware of, those isolated IgG supplements, those things come from colostrum. Transfer factors, if you've ever heard about that, for me, the first time I heard about transfer factors was in 2020. It seemed to be a real big thing. Everybody was calling it kind of like this secret molecule and all this kind of stuff. Those are the bioactive peptides extracted directly out of colostrum. So, you've got all these isolated derivatives of the amazing compounds in this whole food product here, and you see it on the market and you don't know where it comes from. It actually comes from a very, very rich source of colostrum. So that's how amazing this is. Let's see, what do I have to this is just not clicking to the next slide. Why is it that it's doing this? Oh, okay. Here is the caveat. To get all these amazing benefits in this colostrum, there are parameters that have to be met. Number one, it's got to be collected within the first 6 hours of that calf's life. It must be left intact. That means don't defat it so that it's more blendable in drinks or anything like that. It's got to be left raw in its bioavailable form. Now, our farms from Anovite, they're US farms across the country. And I love that because anytime that my food can pass through least hands as possible, I love it. So I love supporting anything and everything done here in the US of A. Now, we work with very large herds, which ensures a really good thing. It ensures a very broad spectrum of antibodies. We also make sure that they're very strict nutrition guidelines. These cows are very, very happy cows. They're out in that sunshine. They're living their best life. They're just doing what cows do. Okay. These samples are analyzed at multiple times throughout the process to make sure that we are getting a very, very high quality colostrum here. I've never been more impressed with the clean labs that I have seen for third-party testing. And I'm talking about clean labs for mold, for glyphosate, for any kind of pesticides, hormones, antibiotics. This is typical stuff that you're going to find in things like conventional milk that you buy at the store. It can be, whatever quality you think it is, but if it's not a clean source, then expect that you're going to find all these derivatives in that product. There is a chemical analysis done of each sample to confirm that it's been collected within the 6 hours. So we are very, very much a calf first company. Calves get all that they need first, and then we go ahead and get what we can grab. Now, how can you use it? My favorite way to use it is eating it straight off the spoon. I can't tell you how many times I'm walking in and out of my kitchen being a mom to 5. Sometimes I feel like I'm literally cooking in stages all throughout the day. So I am in my kitchen at all times and I'm constantly finding myself just taking more and more spoons out of my jars. I have it in my coffee. You can have it in tea. You can have it in smoothies. It comes not only in loose powder, but it also comes in chewables and capsules. So sometimes if you have kids that are picky, they will definitely enjoy the chewables. A lot of times my kids don't even know that they're getting so much colostrum because I'm just putting it in so many things. I can put it in my waffle mix, my pancake mix, if I'm ever making any muffins or anything like that. Smoothies are really big here for us too, so that's a really great way to get it in there. You cannot even know, you don't even taste that it's in there. It comes, oh, I said that it comes in chewables and capsules. Very easy to travel with. I have every form here in my house. I even share some with friends. And let me see if, oh yeah. All right, well, that was my last slide. I didn't know if there was another one behind that. I wanted to be cautious on time and make sure that I touched on everything that was important. Landy, do you see any questions or anything? I know we didn't originally plan for like a little bit of a Q&A, but since we have a few minutes to spare, I can stop sharing my screen if
Yeah,
you want.
sure. Okay. Yeah. Stop share. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was an incredible presentation. As always, Ivy knocked it out of the park. So, guys, if you'd like, we have a few minutes here. If anybody has any questions for Dr. Ivy, um, put them in the chat either on Facebook or I'm doing the Facebook Live here, by the way, or we can answer your questions in the what do you call it? In the comment section here of the chat on our Zoom. So go ahead and put your questions there, or if you'd like, I can unmute you if you're not shy and we can just have you ask that question in person. Anybody have a question? Okay, here's a question. Ivy, do you see it? It says, I'm diabetic. Is it safe for me to take?
Okay, is this in the Zoom chat or is it on the Facebook Live
It's in
comment?
the Zoom. It's in the Zoom, the comment right here. But we are also streaming live, so just so you know, we're out there.
Okay, right. So I'm a diabetic. Is it safe for me to take? Yes, it is safe for diabetics to take. This is not a product that raises your glycemic glucose in your blood levels at all. If you have one of those GCM meters that are attached underneath your bicep there, you could confirm that with that kind of device. This isn't a product that raises your blood sugar whatsoever, and the sugar is not, it's not a processed sugar. You're not ingesting sugar cane. You're not ingesting any kind of a processed sugar that way. This is actually a nutritional sugar like lactose and things of that nature. This directly deals with your cellular behavior. It doesn't raise your sugar levels within your blood. But again, I'm not your doctor, so if you do have a doctor, you're going to want to run anything by them.
Speaking of doctors, we have the one and only Dr. Anthony Kleinsmith on commenting on our Facebook Live.
Oh,
The genius is in the house, you guys. We do have a comment about Limouzi. This is our heavy metal detox. And Ivy, you want to? I know you just did a live the other day with Joey Phillips on this, and it was blew it out of the park. So lots of information on that live. If you missed it, be sure and catch it. But yeah, Ioana was asking if maybe you just mention a few words about Limouzi.
so Limousi is something that I'm a really big fan of just because I like the way that formulations are done here at Anovite. I'm a very big fan of Dr. K. Um, and Limousi is something that is in my process. So when I get patients started on the colostrum, I like them to be on the colostrum 30 to 60 days before I put them on Limousi. And then I'd like them to be on Limousi for about 3 to 4 weeks before I put them on GB6. So I kind of have this process of how I like things to go, just because everybody is so different. Sometimes if you're not in a proper place to handle what Limousi can do for you, it's probably because you don't have the proper gut support beforehand. Now, I don't hear very often of people not responding very well to Limousi 6 to begin with. But if I do hear of that, like from a team member or another practitioner colleague, if they say, Ivy, I had this patient try this and it didn't really go as well as I wanted it to go, more times than not, it's because they hadn't experienced the gut repair that colostrum does within the first 30 to 60 days. So that's my frame of thinking, how I work with things. If you've ever had a little slightly less than desirable experience with Limu Z6, I always with patients, with loved ones, friends and family, or anybody on my platform, um, I always say you got to give the colostrum 30 to 60 days. You're going to see results sooner than that. But I want to tell you something. The body is such an amazing master of disguise. You feel a lot better sooner than everything being corrected. So while you're feeling really great because you're actually getting the fuel you need to actually function properly, there are still a lot of things on the back end that still need to take time to get corrected, even though you feel great. So sometimes there's this misunderstanding that I feel so good, well, then everything must be fixed. Not entirely. So that's what my thoughts are on Limu Z6. That's how I utilize it. And that's been the best way that I've gotten all kinds of positive feedback from anybody in my practice or anybody on my platform that I share things with. I always say this thing. When people are in a tough spot and they can't afford to go see a practitioner, take colostrum for 30 to 60 days, see what disappears, and then go see somebody. I have, like my top three supplements that are very generally safe to start people on. And I always say, take these three things, give it 60 to 90 days, notice what disappears. And then if you have stubborn things that you just can't figure out, then go see somebody. But at least the colostrum, the fulvic acid, my favorite things, they're going to target and repair so many things already.
Amazing, amazing. And so much is due to nutritional deficiencies, mineral
Mm-hmm.
deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, many, many things. So I just realized we've been streaming live on Facebook to friends only. Thank you, Facebook, but I just changed it to public.
Okay.
So if you guys had any trouble sharing this, you can now share it. It is now public. So sorry, all these little things I got to look out for. Also, if you are watching live, if you will comment hashtag live in the comments on Facebook, on the Facebook Live, and hashtag replay if you are catching the replay of this live. We did have another question real quick. Do you have time for one more? Maybe
I
one
do.
more?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Someone was asking about the colostrum and how much do you typically recommend a person take?
Okay, so I love this. And I love when people ask this because usually the recommendations on the back of anything are just kind of a general kind of blanket statement. Um, but as a root cause practitioner, my goal is finding what the therapeutic dose is for every individual person that I'm dealing with. Even us here in my home, we are a family of seven. We all have individual therapeutic doses. For me, it is 4 tablespoons throughout the day. I don't pound those down all at one time. And I want to tell you that the therapeutic dose is very dependent upon what you're going on in life at this time. If you are under high amounts of stress, that therapeutic dose will be higher for you. I will give you one example. So this past summer, 6 months ago, I had a very, very severe form of frozen shoulder. They call it adhesive capsulitis. I couldn't even separate my arm from my body. At that point in time, my therapeutic dose became 6 tablespoons or more. Okay. I couldn't believe at how much I was able to manage pain once I upped my doses to 6 or more tablespoons during the day. So I would say that I would say at bare minimum, a tablespoon spread out throughout the day. When I'm working with children, I start them off at 1 teaspoon per day. I wait a few days, make sure they're doing great, and then I increase it to 2 teaspoons spread out the day, then to 3 teaspoons spread out through the day. And if I can get that child, even the ones that I see in my practice, I see children, but I don't see infants. Um, the children in my practice, I'd like to get them to 5 teaspoons spread out throughout the day. These are very, very good therapeutic doses. But again, you would have to identify and yourself. So you know whether 3 tablespoons really makes you feel good, or if you need to be above 5 tablespoons a day. You will also notice this within your own children. If 3 teaspoons spread out throughout the day, you notice some really, really positive changes in maybe their behavior, maybe how much they can focus and pay attention, how effective they could have bowel movements in the bathroom without straining or being constipated. You know these things because you're there real time. I'm not with you behind closed doors, so I'm not able to guide you with that, but I can give you some general guidelines on what you should see. So when you take something, you should see noticeable differences.
Cool. Absolutely agree. Wait, am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay. Just making sure. I'm looking at the Facebook Live and there's a delay here. All right, you guys, do we have any other questions? I'll go back through here and look at this again, but be sure if you're on the Facebook Live to comment hashtag live and then hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And also be sure and comment in the Facebook Live who invited you to the live so that we can connect you with the proper person that can get you out a free $70 box of these amazing life-giving products and get them in your hands, in your body as soon as possible. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything, Ivy, before we jump off? You absolutely blew my mind again. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope that I was able to answer everybody's questions on what, effectively for them and not leave you wondering about anything. I just, this has really just changed a lot in my own personal life, in my patients' lives. I am grateful for the opportunity to get it in as many people's hands as possible. It's definitely something that is just such a active compound. It's just so amazing. It just changes so many things. I love the fact that it's left intact. Um, I think we need to change our way of thinking things. We all want to have nice things. We all want the best, supplement products, but then we don't want it to be clumpy. We don't want it to smell like livestock. We don't want it to look a certain way. And we need to understand that if you want the best colostrum, it should smell like cattle when you open the bag. It should be golden yellow, even though it's not a beautiful bright white. And it should have a beautiful hint of taste of vanilla. And that's just the way that it is. And so I'm beyond thrilled, beyond happy, beyond pleased with this product. I can't say enough good things about it. This was a very general teaching. It wasn't an isolated topical kind of teaching, but I think those will come in the future where we talk about, probably specific diseases and what mechanism colostrum uses to target that area in your body. But I think this was a pretty well-rounded kind of general benefits of how you get those brain benefits from head to toe.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Ivy. And everybody, thank you for showing up. And what I'm going to do is download this recording so that we can share it with people. And I will do that as soon as we get off of this call. So once again, thank you so much. Comment in the Facebook Live on Landy Maybe page. It's also, I think, on Dr. Ivy's page. I tried tagging y'all. Hopefully it worked. But we will see you back here next time we do this again. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you all for showing up. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Bye. Peace out. Bye, guys.